The 5 things I'm most proud of is firstly transforming MCS. I mean, it was a failing business and organisation when I joined in 2018 to something that's now highly successful and respected in the sector. I mean, secondly, I think building a fabulous team. I'm really proud of the people I work with every day. Sometimes they don't know how good they are, with over 100 folks now working for MCS. The other thing I'm proud of is modernising the scheme. I mean, we have taken on something that is really technically very challenging. So we now have a scheme that's redeveloped installer scheme, is respected. Yes, it's going to be challenging to really land it over the course of the remainder of the year, but that is something we can all be really proud of. And linked to that, earning the trust of the sector. MCS was so far back in 2018, a lot of people thought it was going to finish after the end of the feed-in tariff, which was a government incentive. We are challenged by the sector we're part of, but we're definitely part of it. We can be proud of MCS and its brand, what it stands for in the sector, and that it is trusted. And I think then finally, sort of the bigger picture piece is about MCS is playing a really critical role in the UK's energy transition. You know, what we do gives confidence to people to want this technology on their homes, to benefit from it. So we mustn't forget that while we've got a great scheme, we've transformed the business, actually the thing we're really doing is transforming the use of energy in the UK. I think the thing that most surprised me was I was expecting technical expertise when I joined the sector, but I didn't quite expect so much passion. And with passion comes challenge. You know, there are some people who don't want MCS to do what it does, but most people do, and they are passionate about what they do, especially our installer community, but increasingly manufacturers as well. I'm just overwhelmed sometimes by their passion to do the right thing for the sector and its consumers. I think the other thing that really surprised me was the complexity that we have to deal with. So I mean, the technical environment we're working in, all the standards community we have to work with, the regulatory environment, government policy. I mean, I could go on. There's lots of things that add to the work that we do. Is highly complex, and everybody has a role of that particular jigsaw, but it is a complex environment. That has surprised me and continues to surprise me every day. I think the other thing I'm surprised about is the power really of collaboration. I didn't quite understand this when I joined MCS, that needing to work across industry, work with politicians, government officials, the standards community, you've got to get them all facing in the right direction. And that's been harder. So my background is turning around businesses, but it's been the most complicated because needing to get everybody to buy the MCS story and the journey that we've been on over the last 8 years has been, needed all their support. I suppose the other thing that I'm surprised by is how quickly the industry is evolving. I mean, look at our installation numbers. That's partly because of the work we do, but actually this is a sector that's growing. We're privileged actually to work in a sector with such a future, with so much focus from government. It is moving at speed, and we have to keep up with that, and that's been a real surprise to me. 3 lessons I've learned, and maybe continue to learn. People come first. I mean, a lot of organisations say that they're people focused, but I've been really privileged that when I joined MCS, I was one of the first few people working for MCS. We've been able to build a culture, an organisation that I want to work for, as well as hopefully most of the people at MCS. That's been some lessons learned about how you build high-performing teams, how you create a culture there where everybody feels like they're being listened to and engaged. So that's been something I've learned largely on the job. So the other thing I've learned is you're never going to have all the answers. There's a lot of unknowns, and that's not just me personally. There are things we've had to discover about MCS and its role over the last 8 years that mean as a leader, You really have to listen to the people around you and to the sector that you're a part of. So even the criticism actually is super beneficial because you start to understand the perception of MCS. If MCS is about developing trust and confidence, they're the voices that are telling you that it's not working. You need to listen to those. And I've really tried to do that. Sometimes it's been quite difficult to hear that because you're so passionate about what you do. But that's been something I've learned. Final bit of learning for me is you always be looking ahead. It's so easy to get drowned in today's issues and the work we're doing right now, but we need to be sure that MCS is fit for the future. So I'm really excited about MCS going forward under Lisa's leadership. You really got to think about what's coming down the tracks because things are changing quite quickly. So we need to be growing even more than we have already, but ready for that opportunity that's coming towards MCS. So the main thing I'm going to miss about MCS, and no one will be surprised by this, is the people. I really enjoy the interactions I have with the team. I know people can hear me laughing across the office. It's because I genuinely love working with the people. I'm emotional about that because I don't know what it's going to feel like next year when I'm not coming to the office. I like to be here. I like to hear what's going on. So I need to make sure I replace that with something, but I'm really going to miss the people and I hope they miss me too. The second thing I'm going to miss is the sense of purpose. And they say when you're heading towards retirement, you need to retire to something, not from something. I am privileged to have led this organisation for the last 8 years. Because of the sense of purpose. We know what we're about. I come to work looking at it in that sort of the big picture. I'm fortunate I hear all the feedback from government officials and the trade bodies we work with, and they're proud of what MCS is. I have to think, well, okay, so am I. I'm proud of that, but I think that comes from having a real sense of purpose, that we've got something we're aiming for. If I could give Lisa one piece of advice, it's be your authentic self. The organisation doesn't need another Ian. It needs a fabulous Lisa, and it's privileged to have Lisa leading it. That would be my advice, and try and enjoy it. Sometimes it is really difficult, but if you can see the joy in what we do, there's a lot what we do that is fantastic, then that'll see you through the difficult times.